On this webcast, we're going to give you the 3 secrets to grow your business this week. Let's go. Hey everybody, this is Antoine Dupont with Katapult.Marketing, and this is webcast number 40. Whether it's 40 or 40 or something like this, I don't know how you're seeing. And today I have a very special guest, Lee Tkachuk from Chicago. Hi Lee, how are you?
Hi Antoine, thanks for having me. I'm doing great today and so happy to be here.
Yeah, very cool. Are you in Chicago right now? Because I know you're in Florida and Chicago, so I never know where you are. You're in Chicago?
Actually, I'm in Chicago and our weather is hotter and more humid than Florida, so go figure.
I have no doubt. I was in Indianapolis a week ago and it was steaming when I got there. And I was like, I can't wait to go back to Florida to cool off. So Lee, you're a lot of people know you. I mean, you're not this hidden person that nobody knows anything. But for the few people that don't know who you are, give me your. That's going to be a great segue. Give me your elevator pitch. How do you introduce yourself? What do you do for a living? And why you get up in the morning?
My formal bio pitch is, hi, I'm Lee Tkachuk. I am an award-winning CEO, best-selling author ×2, professional speaker, and the founder of the Speaker Collaborative. Now, what that really means is I have a whole bunch of brick and mortar healthcare documentation companies that are between 20 and 15 years old. I've been a professional speaker for about 15 years.
Right.
And the Speaker Collaborative is the way that I have pulled my 2 loves together, growing a business and speaking.
Very cool.
Business and speaking.
Yeah, so basically you're doing this part-time, right? Which is only 12 hours a day, right?
Only 7 days a week.
Only 7 days a week. So it's only part of the time, not the whole day, right? The other 12 hours you do whatever. Well, you sound like you're really busy. So I appreciate very much you being on the call with me. So we talked about before we started the webcast, bringing value for people. And with your background, I think you have 3 specific points that you want to tell all the business owners out there on the things that you could take action with this week to improve, growing your business or whatever you're up to. The first one, which was actually interesting coming from you, was the voicemail, or I guess maybe a pet peeve of yours with people not having a proper voicemail. So tell us, what do you mean by that?
Well, I'll tell the story behind it. I once called a couple months ago a friend of mine who happens to be the CEO of a large healthcare system, 7 hospitals underneath him. And when I called, the message that I got from him was, hey, this is John, you know what to do. So I hung up and I called back because I wasn't sure that was him, because there was no way that was the CEO of a healthcare system's full voicemail. It had to be wrong. I had to have called somebody the wrong number, but that was his.
Wow.
So I ended up talking with him, and it is a pet peeve of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Voicemail is someone's often their first impression of you. And they need to know that A, they're calling the right person,
right,
and B, that you're professional.
Right. Yeah, it's I mean, I actually have the same pet peeve with email signature.
Right.
And it's rare when it's really a great signature that it has everything it needs. But I would bet that John would have a signature that would say John, with nothing. And it's like, when I try to get a hold of John, the first thing I'm going to go to my email. I'm going to search for his name. And if I can find sometimes or even the email address, I may want give it to someone or get the phone number. And it's a pet peeve. And I'm like, why are you trying to make it hard for me to get a hold of you? Do not want me to call you ever or email you? Obviously I could reply to the email and just say, what's your phone number? But it's a pet peeve. Or you have those that have, 3/4 of a page of disclaimers and garbage that nobody cares about. So that's a good point. So what would you say the voicemail is? Hi, this is Antoine Dupont, and then Just basically say, I'm, CEO of Katapult.Marketing, where we help business owners grow their business, and you can reach me, or something like. Just give a little bit more information. What would you say? What should they include in the voicemail?
Very basic would be your name, your company name. Now, I have a lot of companies, so I don't
That's
say my
true. It's
company.
John Wood. It's John. It's first name, last name. So
First name, last name.
hi, this is Antoine Dupont, the CEO of Katapult.Marketing. So at least
Yes,
they
then
know
I
they're gonna
tell them why I haven't picked up the phone. So, hi, this is Lee Tkachuk. I'm sorry I missed your call. I'm not ignoring you. I missed your call.
I'm sorry, I missed your call. Yeah. At
Yes.
least say something. Yeah, you know what to do. It's actually, it's funny because it's the laziness of, and it's actually, I think it's funny, and I can see John probably has a sense of humor, which I like him already for that. But I agree with you. It's a bit weak in terms of being helpful for the people on the other side. Like you even said, I don't even know if it's the right John. I mean, it could be a different,
Hung up.
I don't know your voice well enough to know that was you.
And I called back, and that time I did leave a message because he knows what I do for a living. And I said, seriously, this is your outgoing voicemail. But I want everyone to know that this is sometimes the very first impression someone has of you. And as you know, you don't have a second chance to make a first impression, as cliche as that is, but it's true.
Right.
So tell them who you are,
Right.
why you're not picking up the phone,
Right.
what you want them to do, and then what you're going to do. So
Right.
very simple.
Yeah, and I'll call you back within, and you say, and I will call you back within 24 hours or 48 hours, or it may be like 72 hours before I can get back to you. I know some people that are freaking busy, and if you get a call within 72 hours, that's within range.
And if you are that busy, you can put a little disclaimer of your own in there.
Yeah.
For instance, my director of operations says,
Right.
hey, this is Karen Binter with Keystrokes. Can't take your call right now. I have a pretty full week. So if you please leave your name, number, and brief but detailed message, I'll get back to you. If you need immediate assistance, press 0, and one of my staff members would be happy to help you.
Right. Now you've said everything. You know what's it's actually it's interesting. I don't even know what my voicemail does. But the other thing that's actually interesting is it annoys me when people leave me a voicemail, because now I have to listen to it. And I would say, probably something like, text me what you want and I'll get back to you. Now, since I've mentioned the email address, I think I need to say what needs to be there. It's the same thing: your first name, last name, your title, your phone number, your email address, and your website. Right. I mean, at least the basic. I don't know that you need to have the address, but I would say at least that. And the reason why you need that is because Lee says, hey, Antoine, do you have John's contact info? And I would say, yes, he just emailed me. Now I go to John's email, and then immediately what I notice is the signature just says John. And I'm like, oh, crap. So I have to do shit to help you to have Lee contact you. And it's like, my signature's got name, first name, last name, company, title, phone number, mobile number, email address. All Lee would have to do is copy that, put it in a new email, and say, here is Antoine's info. I made it easy for Lee to give my contact info to someone that may want to do business with you. For God's sake, help people do business with you. That's too basic. Well, thank you for the voicemail.
And here's another one. When you're leaving a voicemail, do the same thing in reverse. Because second pet peeve, I don't know who me is.
Hi, this is me. Yeah. Who is me?
Sometimes I don't even recognize my mom's voice if I'm in a hurry. Seriously.
No. I have people sometimes pick up the phone and they're like, hi, how are you? And I'm like, good. Who is this? And I'm like,
hey, what's she
this
doing?
is John. Like, they're incensed that I don't recognize John. And I'm like, dude, I talk to 30 people in a day. Like, what do you think? I have a memory engraved and I have a system that says, I don't know. So, okay, so this is great. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. Pet peeves or horror stories you've seen about voicemail or email signatures or people leaving you a voicemail and whatnot. And I also like to know, what do you do or what do you use that helps you support, having a great signature and whatnot. I know there are some tools out there. I personally use Wise Stamp, WISE Stamp. It helps you create a great signature because even though I have graphic designers, I just like it to be just nice, crisp, and consistent. So that's that. So that was the first point. The first point is your voicemail. Have a professional voicemail.
And I'm going to put out a little challenge to everyone.
Oh, yeah. I
Pick up
like
your
challenges.
cell phone right now and
Yes.
call your office phone and see what that sounds like.
Mm.
And then pick up your office phone and listen to your cell phone, because how many times do you give out your cell phone to customers, potential customers,
I don't even
everyone?
know.
So make sure that one at least has your name.
I'm making a note here. Listen to my voicemail. I don't even know what it says.
Exactly. Now mine says the same thing because pretty much everybody in my office does. If they didn't, they'd be in trouble. And another thing with the voicemail is people want to hear you. Don't have your secretary, your assistant, your IT guy leave the message for you.
Yeah. Don't have a recording. Okay, great. No, that's
all right.
great.
That's first thing.
Great tip. So that was voicemail. We want to see your comments here below. Don't forget, I know when you are and you're not. All right. Number 2 was know your elevator pitch. So what do you mean by that?
We don't want to be cliche and have it so that it's timed exactly like 30 seconds, 50 seconds, 60 seconds. It isn't speed dating. But again, we're going back into pet peeves. So I'm solving your problems by solving mine. So help me out here.
Yeah.
When I go to a networking event, or even when I'm in a meeting and I ask, I tell someone, hi, I'm Lee Tkachuk, and they say who they are. And I'm like, so what do you do? Or who are you with? And they give me this blank stare. Have your 2 or 3 sentences ready.
Right.
For instance, one of my companies is Girly Girls Know Sports. So I'll meet someone, I'll say, hey, I'm Lee Tkachuk. I'm the founder and CEO of Girly Girls Know Sports. The next part is key. We help women and men learn enough about sports to hold a conversation, have fun watching or at a game, and become fans.
Yeah, clear.
Exactly what it is. Now, I told Antoine that if I'm in Chicago, I, of course, then say, so are you a Cubs fan or a Sox fan? He starts the conversation going. But so many times I will meet someone who has this amazing company, who has this amazing service or product, and they don't know what to say. And I'm busy, and I can guarantee you that I will never do business with them.
That's very cool. So I'm going to say something to that because I'm a marketer and I've spent quite a bit of time on messaging and branding. And I couldn't agree more with you. And I think that the vast majority of people will actually say in the elevator pitch what they do. And they think that that's sufficient. But for the vast majority of time, it is not, because while I know what SEO means, which is what one of the things that my agency does, we do SEO, it means pretty clear that if I would ask a room of 100 people, I would have 100 different versions of what that is. And ultimately, that's not what people want. So my introduction, my elevator pitch, or my introduction is, hi, my name is Antoine Dupont with Katapult.Marketing, and we help business owners grow their business and get more leads. And I leave it at that. And I don't say SEO. I don't say digital marketing. I don't say Facebook marketing. I don't say video marketing. I don't say any of these things because I just don't know anyone that wakes up in the morning and that says, you know what, I really want to get some SEO today. Nobody wants SEO. Nobody wants SEO. Nobody wants a website. They don't.
Just like with mine, nobody wakes up and says, I want to take a course about football, something I've ignored.
Nobody wakes up to do any of the stuff that you sell. They just really don't. They want to survive the day. They want to have a good time. They want to, whatever they want. But I can tell you without an ounce of a doubt that people don't want what you do. They want the result. They want what they're going to get out of it. Which is, for me, what we've identified is they want to grow their business and they want more leads. So I tell them that's what we do. Then if they say, well, how do you do that? Well, it says, well, we do that with SEO, with having a proper website, with having SEO, with having video marketing and all those things. That's how we help you achieve that.
And then you're having a conversation.
And then we're having a conversation, but at the core of it, if your elevator pitch, when you're thinking about it, you have to think in terms of what do they want? And then you have to be present to their pain. What is their pain? The pain for the people that I deal with is that they don't have enough leads, and they're having struggles, or they would like to grow their business more. That's at the core. That's really what they want. So they wake up in the morning, how can I get more leads and how can I grow my business? But they certainly don't wake up with, how can I get myself some SEO? Would it be
And
crazy?
don't make it too complicated.
No, don't make it, simple.
If you do sales training, it can be as simple as, I help you close more sales to grow your business.
That's it. I help people increase their sales, get more sales. Yeah, that's simple. It's just or help people get better at sales. Well, actually, get better at sales is the thing that I was telling you before. And this is, what do you mean? Like, you're implying that I'm not good at sales. So you actually want to be careful with this, with the verbiage.
Or close more sales, not, sell. Like, you're not telling.
Yeah, close more sales. Yeah, close more sales. So I'd like to hear from you guys in the comments below. Please type your elevator pitch, and let's have fun with it. And if you want some feedback, or some constructive critique, ask actually specifically what you're asking, what you want to hear. But we'd love to see what your elevator pitch is. And if you want some feedback, please ask for some feedback. If you don't want, then just put it there, and that will be that. So that was the elevator pitch. So the first one was the voicemail. The second one was know your elevator pitch. And the third one was don't obsess. What do you mean by don't obsess? What are you calling me, an obsessive compulsive?
Sometimes. But what I mean by that is, a lot of people, when they have to give a meeting or give results or go into a sales presentation or go to a networking group, they obsess about what they're going to say. So it's important to be prepared. But if you're afraid, if you're fearful, that's going to come out. People smell fear just like dogs. And you want to be powerful and strong and confident. And the best way to do that is to don't think of it as you're giving a speech, you're giving a presentation, you're leading a meeting. You're having a conversation that the people around you want to have with you. So you're the expert. They're looking at you to be the expert and to be able to talk about it, but they don't want you reading 50 things off of a slide or using your cliff notes. You're not a quarterback in a football game looking at the next play.
Right.
You shouldn't have to look down at your notes if you're talking about your own company. Don't obsess over the preparation on this. Know your stuff, know your audience, and your confidence will rise automatically. Just don't obsess. Have a conversation. Now, if it's something like a keynote speech or a huge sales presentation, you might have more preparation, but you're still just having a conversation.
That's right. Yeah. Don't. And I think it's because people are too, they want to close too quick.
Yes.
They want to close too quick, or basically, I heard that from someone, and it's like, you want to approach every conversation instead of coming for, I wonder if I can close that, to, I wonder if they're a good fit for me.
And build that relationship through
right. And because when you say, I wonder if they're a good fit for me, that you're putting yourself in a position not to, I want to close this lead, but more, you're going to be more inquisitive and you're going to ask more questions, which is going to be better in the long run. Because people can smell that. So it's just like, you just don't want to say like everybody is a good fit for me, because it's not true. There's a lot of people that may not be a good fit for you for multiple reasons.
And be the first to admit you don't know something.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what you do that? I have no idea what that is.
Right. Or, I deal with this all the time in my IT department. It handles that. I'll get back to you, tomorrow or the next day or in an hour. But don't pretend to know everything, because nobody likes to know it all.
Right.
But what know well enough that you're comfortable and it's a conversation.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, I have a funny story about that. When I was younger, my family would be laughing if they heard this. I had this dressing table.
Right.
And I thought it would be cool if I could learn how to smoke. But I wanted to be cool when I learned how to smoke. So I would spend hours in front of this thing being like, yeah. And that was so cool. And I would practice. Well, I do have a big family and they caught me a lot of times doing this. But I can tell you one thing. When I smoked those cigarettes when I was older, I looked pretty cool because I had been prepared.
You look marvelous.
I knew how to toss the hair and do everything else. So know it so inside out that you're confident.
That's very, very cool. Well, I have a trick. So first of all, I hate networking events. It's really not my favorite. And it's the truth for actually a lot of people. A lot of people don't care for networking event. They do it because they have to. But someone taught me the 3 questions to ask, and it was a lifesaver for me. And the 3 questions to ask at any networking event, so I'm adding a thing to our thing there, is number 1, what is your industry? So hi Lee, what industry, what is your industry? So just and sort of me, you say I'm in sports, whatever, and everything. And then my second question is, how long have you been doing this? Oh, how long have you been doing this? Right? So this is my second question. And then they'll say 6 months, a year, 10 years, whatnot. Okay, so then I have my second answer. And I'm saying, so how many people do you have on your team doing that? Right? So it says, oh, it's just me. So here's what I've actually uncovering with those 3 questions, which anyone will answer very quickly. What's your industry? So immediately I'm going to know whether you're going to be a good fit for me or not, right? So I'm in law. I'm a lawyer. Oh, okay, got it. How long you been doing this? Well, I just opened my practice 6 months ago. And how many of you are in the team? Oh, it's just me. So immediately I'm like, okay, lawyer, it's a good fit for me. 6 months and it's just me. He doesn't have the budget to hire me. I know that immediately. Now, I may be making a completely false assessment because this guy has deep pockets and whatnot, but 99% or 99% of the time, it is going to be indicative for me that it's not a good fit, especially for what I'm selling, right? And then if I get 1, 2, 3, it's like not a good fit, not a good fit, not a good fit. I says, well, thank you very much. It was great meeting you and hope you get to meet a whole bunch of people. And I move on because I don't want to waste my time talking to someone that is going to be like, for example, I could have someone say, I'm into yoga. I opened my salon 3 months ago, and it's just me and my sister doing this. Like this, that's not a good fit. It's not a fit for someone that's going to be spending, $2,000-$3,000 a month in marketing. You know what I mean? It's just I already know that. Or I could have someone say, well, I own a health studio. Oh, okay. How long have you been doing this? I've been doing that for 10 years. Got it. How many people do you have working for me? I have 14 people on staff. And I'm like, ding, 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 ding. No more callers. I got to win.
That's the sound that was going through my head.
Right. Well, I was like, oh, okay, great. Well, wow, that's an interesting, and then I can start having, now I can engage with that person because I know that person is going to be a good use of my time. Now, again, I said at the beginning, I hate networking events. So you going to a networking event, I just, the last thing I want to do is waste half an hour of my time. And I've done this before. I had those 3 questions. How many times I talked to people that, didn't have the budget or were not a good fit, not the right industry, you just name it. And those 3 questions uncover everything for you immediately. And you know exactly who you're dealing with.
You can also tell by those 3 questions sometimes how they answer them, if they're a master relationship connector.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, I'm in healthcare, specifically in the radiology space. We have a woman who spends a lot of time at our booth at 3 of the shows we exhibit at. Mm-hmm. She will never be my customer, but I have at least a dozen people that have been referred by her. Why? Because I talk to her.
Right.
I don't talk down to her. I talk to her. We have a conversation. And we can talk about more than just what I'm doing that moment. Yeah. Now I also have more time there because, there's a lot of time at trade shows. Yeah. But sometimes when you talk to that person, you ask those questions, they'll say something like, oh, I just opened my practice, but I spent 22 years at boom, boom, boom. I was a partner at such and such firm. They're going to tell you a little bit more, and maybe you won't dig in that minute, but later you will. So it all
Right.
comes down to knowing what to say and how to say it.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So I'd love to hear from you guys in your comments below. Put in, the point was don't obsess. So anything you would be obsessed or anything that you would actually be concerned that's always shows up for you, put it in the comments and let's talk about that. I'd love also to hear if you have a specific technique when you're going to a networking event that you use that you found very effective, because we're a student of the trades and we're always learning. So we'd love to hear that. So put it in the comments below. And that was it. So the three things that Lee brought to the house today: the voicemail. Have a voicemail that's professional. Go and listen to it like right now. Go do it. Pause this video. Do it. Listen.
And don't forget your cell phone.
And don't forget your cell phone. Right. 2, know your elevator pitch. What is it that you're going to say? Someone says, "Hi, what do you do?" Right. And I said, I actually use the grammar test. If grandma does not understand what you do, then you failed. So find a grandma and tell her, "Hey, grandma, I'm going to say that to people. Does that make sense?" And the third one is don't obsess. Don't obsess about the little details. And on that note, thank you so much, Lee. Thank you for coming and sharing some wisdom with us. And that's that.
Thank you, Antoine. You made it fun, and I would love to see some of the elevator pitches and to hear your voicemail horror stories.
Very cool. So thank you, Lee.
All right, thanks. Have a great day.
Bye.